Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to go from this to this. Stick around. I picked up this canvas from a thrift store for $7.49, and you're going to need a canvas, some measuring tape, pen, pencil, backboard, and some trim. And first I measured my canvas, and then I decided I wanted a 3-inch border to go past it on all sides. So I'm measuring this leftover backing I had from another dresser I did, measuring it to size, and then I'm going to put the two pieces together to get it the size that I need to go past the full canvas when I put it down on top of it. Here I am, once I've gotten it all cut, and then I've taped where the two seams are meeting right there with the green tape. I'm going to measure the 3 inches on each side so I can center the canvas and then tape it down. And then after that I'll be able to flip it over with the strong tape holding it. And then again I'm measuring 3 inches in, because on the inner lip of 3 inches is the wood that is the frame for the canvas, and I'm going to want to put the little nails into the wood. And instead of guessing where the wood is, if you just measure from your points again, your 3 inches inside the border, and then go inside of that, that's where the wood will be. Now I'm getting my wood trim to do the frame. This is the first time I've ever made a frame actually, so I was kind of guessing a little bit, and you'll see after this that it definitely didn't turn out perfect, but I wound up doing some sanding and wood filling, as you'll see here in a little bit, to try to at least clean it up the best I could. So next time maybe I'll watch a YouTube video to figure it out. I was pretty happy how much lighter the wood came out after sanding it. Sometimes you have to bleach the wood to get it the tone you want, but this wasn't too far off. And I plan to do a paint wash with water and ivory colored paint later on, as you'll see in the video, and it'll get it even more neutralized and get it to where I want it. And here I'm putting wood glue on all the edges. I'm putting the frame down on top of that, and then I'm going to tape the corner so it doesn't like move at all, because sometimes when you have something on glue it just kind of droops a little bit. This is the next day and it's nice and hard, but we're not just going to glue it, we're going to nail it as well. So getting out my little nails again. And I put a little board underneath it because the canvas is poking out further than the trim. So I'm putting a little board underneath it just to raise my border up a little bit, but you might not need to do that depending on what kind of wood trim you get. And so now I am filling the corners up with wood filling, and this part right here, I wanted to make sure I did this in real time just to show you how smoothly oscillators work. It's so wonderful. They have all the different attachments for even metal as well, but it's so quick. So this is real time right here. This is a sanding attachment for the oscillator. This part is not in real time, but it does an amazing job, and I'll show you a little close up here. It really just knocks it down super fast. It's a wonderful sander attachment, and as well there are different grits that you can put on, just like a regular sander. If you don't have an oscillator, it makes things so much easier. It got so smooth, I love it. Touching up the corners here. And now it's back upstairs and out of my basement getting taped off for priming the canvas. And if you're just getting a regular canvas, probably don't need to do this. But I wanted to be on the safe side, so I am priming, and I use Zinsser bin with shellac. That's my favorite primer ever for furniture, and maybe it's overkill for this, and maybe I don't even need it at all, but I didn't know what might be showing through when I'm done, so that's what I did. So it's primed and dry and ready to go for the next step. Grab this here. So I have all-purpose joint compound, and these are the trowels. I mean, I think these are still considered trowels. Yeah. I got these all from Lowe's. So flat sides and then sides with the design. These are square on the top, rounded. And then these are just your basic putty knives so that I can do things like, oops, making circles. Okay, I'm not left-handed. And then these cute little ones were sitting there too. They're like less than $2 each. So I can do little bits of designs here and there if I feel like it. I don't know if I'll use all of these, but I thought I better have them in case I feel like it. Whenever I'm doing another project, I always do a bunch of sketches first, whether it's furniture or anything else, and try to decide which one I like the best. And I couldn't, so I asked my son and he picked which one. And so I'm gonna try to do a recreation of that. We'll see how it goes. Here I'm just distributing the joint compound everywhere with the putty knife, just to make sure that every area has a good amount of joint compound to work with. And I'm not too worried about how perfect it looks or anything. I'm mostly doing back and forth motions, but we're going to be doing a lot over it anyway, so I'm not too worried. A little tip I would give before diving in and using the trowels and everything is to get a feel of it when there's no joint compound on your canvas at all. I did that a couple different times where you just like get the different tools and move them on the canvas as if you were working with the joint compound, just swishing them and going in circles and different things like you're kind of planning to do when the joint compound is on, but it gives you a better feel of like where you need to hold it in order to pivot it, or like, you know, just the control that your hand needs to have on it. It's good to practice before you just dive right in and have all the joint compound on there. But even saying that, this putty took like 2 days to fully dry. So needless to say, you're gonna have enough time while you're working this canvas over with whatever you want to do to mess up lots of times. So, and I definitely messed up sometimes. So you can just get your putty knife and smush it all back down. I researched what kind of joint compound or putty or spackling would be the best for this project, because you don't want something that's going to break off the canvas, especially because there's a little give because it's a canvas and not just like a flat piece of wood. And I was super pleased with this brand, and you'll see later when I'm painting that even when it's literally, you know, bouncing a little bit as I'm painting, there's no cracking, there's no flaking. Like, it's really good. I'm super happy with it. This part, I didn't really like how it looked with the crisscross pattern going two different directions, so I just smooth it out again, and then I go back and redo the lines. I also put the joint compound on the sides of the canvas and in the middle area between the frame and the canvas as well. And I just kind of smear it back and forth with my fingertips. And before that dries, I wanted to take the tape off just to make sure that if there was any little pieces globbed on there that they wouldn't get ripped off. And now I am making the paint wash with the color ivory and just water. You paint it on the wood to kind of neutralize the yellows if you want to. I like this look, so that's what I'm doing. And when you first paint it on, it's got a pretty cloudy look, but then the wood absorbs it and then you can see the patterns in the wood. I'm just going to do the ivory in this area, and once the canvas dries, over there as well. And because I want more dimension, after that dries, I'm going to dry brush white on the peaks. At least that's the plan for now. And all of that is optional, of course. Like, you could just get this a canvas, whatever size you want, joint compound and tools, and do that, and it can be done. You don't have to have a backboard here. You don't have to have a frame. You don't have to whitewash your frame or anything like that. It's all up to what you like. Also, the canvas that I bought was from a thrift store for like $7.50, and it's a really good way to save money on your project, because if you get one at a craft supply store this size of canvas, it would probably be around $35 or so, maybe more, depending on what craft store you're at. So it's a really good way to save money. And I also primed my canvas just because I didn't know how much color would be showing through, or what it would do. And so just to be on the safe side, I wanted to prime it. But if you have a plain white canvas, then you would not need to do that. I had originally planned to do a dry brushing over the top of the design with a lighter white when I was done, just to give it that extra dimension, and I still think that would be nice, but when this was done, I really liked how it looked without the dry brushing, so I kept it like that. And here's the last step, putting on the pieces to hang our new textured wall art. Here it is. I love how it turned out. I put it in my dining room and it gives a really nice mood. Thank you guys for coming along. If you haven't already liked and subscribed to my channel, you'll get alerts when new videos pop up, and it helps my channel so much. I really appreciate you guys. If you have any questions or comments, comment down below.